Hello and welcome. Today's video cast is designed to introduce to you, the listeners, the mission and vision of one Charlie's Harmony Sanctuary and Farm. We'll be talking with none other than the founder and managing director, Erin Mace. If you are like me and hearing what this brave woman is up to, you may want to have a pen and paper handy to write down her contact information near the end of the video, and maybe a box of tissues handy, because some of these stories of these amazing animals may be emotional today. So if you love animals and stories of hope, then for the next 25 minutes, this video cast is the right place for you. With you today. Thank you for being here with our listeners and talking about Charlie's Harmony Sanctuary and Farm. Welcome.
Thank you, David. Hello. It's really a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Great. It's a real pleasure. Where I'm in California. Where are you?
I'm in South Carolina.
Oh, okay. Well, that's where the farm and the sanctuary is located.
That is true.
That's perfect. So, Erin, let's jump right in. Please tell us about you.
Well, I am the founder and managing director, as you stated, of Charlie's Harmony Sanctuary and Farm. And what that sort of entails is I've got some pretty important responsibilities, such as making sure that all of our residents here have safe living environments, that they've got proper nutrition, medical care, enrichment, proper housing. There's just a lot that goes into it, just making sure that their well-being is secure, that they're safe, they're happy, they're loved, and just living their best lives.
Talking about wearing lots of hats, you mentioned a laundry list of to-dos. So I also understand you have some helpers. You're not a lone wolf in all this, are you?
No, not at all. I'm very fortunate. My family has been a tremendous help and support to me. Between my husband, my stepdaughter, my son-in-law, my brother-in-law, and even my one-year-old grandbaby. They're all digging in and pitching in and helping make sure that everything's, sound and secure and taken care of. I do a lot of the, social media, booking vet appointments, farrier, shearing if we need it, fundraising, all that sort of stuff, on top of working a full-time job Monday through Friday. So without their help and support, I don't know if it would be possible.
Right. Wow. Well, we are very appreciative to them. Later on down the line, we'll ask about how volunteers may want to get involved. And so we'll provide them with some contact information. But Erin, is there a backstory? Because this all didn't just start from nowhere.
No, there certainly is. So I, met you a while back in California, as I, lived there myself. As you know, at the time, I had been very involved in dog rescue. I adopted and fostered and networked dogs in need. And at some point around that time, a very dear friend of mine had actually started a farm animal sanctuary, which I had gone to visit and really bonded with some of the animals there. And it just sort of opened my eyes. She educated me a lot on what was going on as we as a society, how we treat farmed animals, or we call them livestock. I mean, think about that term. It's living merchandise, right? And so many other ways of just abuse, neglect, or exploiting animals. So I, got entrenched in this world of farm animals and, what was sort of going on there, and I wanted to help. So I particularly had bonded with a donkey named Samson at her sanctuary, and I became Samson's sponsor. I sponsor him to this day. In fact, leaving California, he was on my list of, I'm really going to miss him. But in 2016, I had been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and going through some of my health challenges and sort of looking inside and figuring out what I wanted to do going forward, I ultimately made the decision to move back east, where I originally came from, and buy some land with the intent to adopt some rescued animals, farm animals, particularly 2 donkeys and a mini horse that I had rescued
Okay.
after I moved. I nowhere ever imagined that I would end up where I am today with the sanctuary. That wasn't my original intent. But once I started, sort of getting involved, I adopted these animals, and then I needed a vet, and the vet knew a rescue that needed to home some goats. And all of a sudden, next thing I knew, I was involved in all farm animals.
Wow.
Goats and pigs and sheep and ducks and chickens and the donkeys and the horses, and I mean the list goes on. But so I started getting more actively involved, and at the time it was just me and a girl named Leanne, who was a neighbor up the road. She was my farm hand. I had sort of hired her to help out. So it was just us 2 girls doing everything, all the heavy lifting, the building, the taking care of the animals, the cleaning up the pastures, and we started composting and growing gardens for the animals. So, that's where Charlie's Harmony sort of was born, was in North Carolina, with Leanne and I.
Nice. Now, let me read something to you. It's a little bio that you wrote for me about Charlie's Harmony Sanctuary and Farm. So Charlie's Harmony Sanctuary and Farm is a forever refuge for discarded, exploited, abused, and neglected farm animals. We focus on those most critically, whether they be because of they are in danger of being put down or slaughtered, medically ill, or have no other place to go, leaving their fate uncertain. We do work with pet owners under special circumstances, but we do not support owner surrenders. Rather, we provide educations so the owners can find the ways in which they can keep their beloved pets. We also are one of the few farm animal rescues in the county that take in CL positive goats. We also have a Jones positive sheep herd. Charlie's Harmony Sanctuary and Farm provides proper medical care, enrichment, and a safe environment to sentient beings who have suffered at the hands of people. Now, in hearing me read that and then had just been telling me your backstory, is it a little surreal to be sitting here?
It is. And I have to say that, I mean, hearing that, I'm proud
Yes.
what I've accomplished, and that I am standing up and doing something. It also, leaves me with a slight bit of sadness for the fact that there's even a need. There's a tremendous need, and I wish there weren't. I do. I wish there weren't, but yes, I'm proud and I'm happy that I'm standing up and I'm doing something for, these beings that have no voice.
Right. What is the hardest part about running a farm and animal rescue?
Well, I mean, on top of the heavy lifting and hard work and the fact that it's 24/7,
Yes.
I would say some of the hardest parts, one would be the exceptionally large amount of loss or grief. I take in a lot of animals that are already sick, or they've already been neglected, they're not well, and unfortunately with that, we've got over 100 animals here. We deal with passing, and we're close with these animals. They're not things to us. They're beings, they're friends, they have personality. So when we lose one, it's tremendously difficult. And we probably go through that more than your average person that doesn't have over 100 rescue animals.
Right.
And also, I would say saying no, turning away an animal in need. Sometimes we have no choice. We do our best to make it work, network with other reputable sanctuaries to make sure that we can secure that animal and need a safe place to land. However, saying no due to the fact that we're lacking funds or materials to build, it's deeply hurtful to have to say no.
Why do you continue to do it?
Well, for a lot of reasons, but most importantly, for the lucky beings that land here.
Yeah.
That come here so deeply emotionally damaged, broken, and to watch them thrive and show signs of pure joy and live out their lives. I mean, essentially, it's like giving them back their life
Yeah.
that they were always entitled to, giving them back their own sense of being.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep doing it.
Yes. Erin, what rescues have emotionally impacted you the most?
Well, I think I'd be remiss to say that not all of them have impacted me in some way, but obviously there's those that are a little bit more deeply impactful. And I would say, off the top of my head, Mowgli is
Okay.
definitely one there. Mowgli was a baby calf. He's not so little today, but
All right.
at the time he was just 3 days old, and we didn't even know about Mowgli. We had no idea that he existed. We had received a plea about an adolescent bull that was going for auction. They wanted help saving him. And I agreed. So I sent my husband to the auction in North Carolina to go save Alfred, the bull. And we did. However, while he was there, he noticed a small baby calf laying down in, a sale pen. And
Wow.
he thought, oh no, he's young. And then he witnessed a man walk up to him and kick him and yell, "Get up." And when the calf didn't get up, he made a face and he walked away after he kicked a newborn baby.
Oh my gosh.
So my husband immediately got in touch with me and said, I'm going to the ATM. We are also going to rescue this baby calf. I said, absolutely. And he did win the bid on the calf. And the man that had kicked him made a comment to my husband along the lines of, I don't know why you paid for that cow. He's not going to live. And
oh no,
his response was, you don't know my wife. So Mowgli came home. He was very sick, a 4 on a scale of 5. And
okay,
I called my vet immediately. She rushed right out to our place. We had him in our living room, and they gave him IVs and vitamins, and we had to tube him some colostrum. He had never had his mother's colostrum. He was ripped away from his mother at birth.
wow,
So he didn't have those antibodies that build up. He had no immune system. He had E. coli. He was going septic. There was just,
oh my gosh,
a ton of things wrong with this poor baby who was only 3 days old. And coincidentally, he was born on the same day as my granddaughter. And we thought we are going to do absolutely everything in our power to give him a fighting chance. Regardless if he was too sick to make it, the idea that he would die in a sale pen or at the hands of somebody with not the best intentions for him,
right,
at least he would be surrounded by love, comfortable, and he would at least experience some kindness. But he did make it. He pulled through.
nice.
We lived in our living room for 2 weeks.
What?
Yes. And we fed him electrolytes. We bottle fed him. I had potty pads everywhere. He had a giant dog bed that he slept in. I was up in the middle of the night cleaning up messes, which he had E. coli. It wasn't pleasant, but
Oh my gosh.
but he pushed through. He thrived, and he is just the most fun-loving, goofy. He thinks he's a dog.
No, well, yeah, it's kind of how it started out.
But it was really touch and go for a while, and
Yes.
I wasn't sure if he would make it. I remember sitting up with him, just holding his head and just loving on him and reassuring him that everything would be okay. But he pulled through, and that really it was close to my heart.
Yes.
Just knowing he was that close to death, and that our efforts
Made a difference.
made a
Absolutely.
difference for Mowgli. Yes. And then there's Tulip.
Okay.
So Tulip is a goat that I had received word that she had been picked up by animal control and was at the county shelter
Okay.
in South Carolina. And I agreed that I would rescue her. I would take her in. I knew not too much about her, but in discovering a little bit of her story, it turns out that she actually escaped from another auction, a sale, livestock sale.
Really?
Yes. So, I mean, it's not extremely often you hear about it, but it happens. I mean, where, animal made a dash, right? And, and got away, and you hear those stories, but there's a little bit more to Tulip's story. There was a gal that transports often for me. I was unable to attend to go pick Tulip up and get her here for other work obligations. So she, had volunteered to go and get her. She brought her here, and we had her stall ready, all comfy, cozy bedding. Now, we didn't know if she carried any diseases, if she had any issues, other, underlying issues, worms, all that. So we had to put her in a quarantine stall. We quarantine every new resident that comes here until they are fully bedded. Okay.
Okay.
And when we put her in the stall, she was petrified. She was so afraid, but she kept walking in circles and bumping into the wall. And I thought, I got a closer look at her, and one of her eyes looked like it had ruptured or was about to rupture. It was very swollen. You could see some blood. It was very cloudy. And her other eye was very cloudy as well. And she can't see. She is blind. So I thought, oh my goodness, she escaped completely blind. That's pretty amazing.
Yes.
So then I have my vet come out, and they ran a pregnancy test on her. She did turn out to be CL positive, which you mentioned we do have a CL herd. So she did have some friends that she would join out of quarantine. The vet came, got her all vaccinated, checked her out. We got her antibiotics for her eyes. Her vision came back. It
really
worked. Yes. Then the pregnancy test results came, and she was pregnant.
What?
And if you can imagine, so nobody can ever tell me any different, that these beings truly are sentient. They can perceive danger and feel fear or a sense of protection, needing to protect. Joy, happiness, sadness, grieving. I've seen animals go through it all. Now, she was blind and pregnant and escaped this auction, protecting her unborn baby.
Wow.
Like, I'm sorry, but if that isn't motherly instincts and love, I don't know what is.
Right.
So she's got her sight back.
Okay.
She gave birth to baby Jillian here on the farm, and they are living their best lives together. They're a little family. They've got friends, and she's just doing wonderful.
Those two stories, I know there are others.
Yes, there's many. I could go on and on, but I know we don't have that much time.
So that kind of leads me into this next really important question is, what do you need the most right now to keep fulfilling on stories like those? What do you need right now?
What we need the most right now in order to continue doing what we're doing is we need donations. And donations don't necessarily need to be monetary. They can be materials, buildings. If somebody built a porch and has some leftover lumber, it might not seem like a lot. Maybe you don't think anything can be created out of your leftover pieces, but it adds up.
Yes.
So eventually, leftover material supplies, tin, lumber, dog beds, even we do use those in piggy houses and quarantine areas for the animals to be comfy and cozy. There's a lot of things. You can message us or email us and inquire if you've got material donations that you aren't sure if it would be beneficial to us. Just reach out and ask, but we definitely need funding. I mean, funding is crucial for us to continue. I have been supporting Charlie's Harmony Sanctuary and Farms financial needs personally out of pocket since I started. We're finally getting moving with social media and getting some donations, but right now, I mean, we're at a critical state.
Right.
Needing, more funding to keep going.
Well, please tell us, how do we contact you?
Well, you can contact me anytime, any day via the telephone, which my phone number is 949-254-2144.
Okay.
We also have a Facebook page, Charlie's Harmony Sanctuary and Farm.
Yes.
You can message us there, and my phone number's on that page, as well as our email, which is charliesharmony@gmail.com.
Right.
We do have a website, which is www.charliesharmony.org, but it is under construction.
Sure.
We are building it. It took me a while to find a volunteer in that space to help us create that. So we're finally underway. It was actually my brilliant stepson who is creating it, but it's under construction, and we're hoping that it'll launch and be live by
I'm sure it will. This video is going to be used multiple times throughout time. So we'll just invite people to look that up as they're viewing it currently, and they'll discover its status. We're getting short on time. Tell me about your visitors or tours.
Yes, we do offer tours or folks to come visit, typically on weekends. We can schedule a weekday. But everything needs to be booked in advance. Just call us or email us or message us on Facebook. We do have accommodations for folks that might be traveling a distance, but really want to come out, spend a couple of days on the farm, meet the animals, have a picnic, whatever. But we do have accommodations. So as long as booked in advance and it's available, we do have that as well.
Now I'm hearing this invitation, and this is invitation for people who are looking to donate, looking to get in touch with
in some way,
really in touch with the mission, the vision, and also I think you shared with me there's one way to donate to sponsor the entire rescue, but if they come and visit, they may become attached to a particular animal that they can then
sponsor. Yes.
Sponsor. Okay.
We will be looking for sponsors for each one of our animals. We're calling them Angels of Hope.
Okay.
And that is absolutely something that is very much so on the table. So if anybody's bonded with a particular animal, we would be so grateful for a sponsorship.
Okay. What is the monthly cost to care for your animals? Well,
for just your essential basic needs, about $2,000 a month. That is not including when we have to build out pastures, build out shelters, medical costs. We can have a full farm checkup visit that can run us over $3,000, plus farrier trims and all that kind of stuff. It's expensive. It's not. Yeah. It is not cheap. There's a lot involved. There's a lot.
So I know there's a donate button on your Facebook page. Is there other ways to push a button and send monthly support or even one-time gifts?
Oh, absolutely. We do have PayPal, which you can find with our email address. And PayPal, you can set up a recurring monthly donation.
Okay.
So you can do that there. But also, I mean, there again, going back to, it doesn't all have to be monetary. If you have, special talents, skills, or trades like what you're doing right now, I mean, this is a donation. I mean, you're donating your time and your talents and expertise. And I couldn't be more grateful for that. All of that helps. And the power of social media goes a long way. If we're in hard times right now, and if you can't financially donate, like our page, share our page, share our posts, you comment. Facebook has algorithms. So the more activity, the more people are going to see our posts and land, to a broader audience, which opens up more folks that can donate. It's huge.
Yeah, I was going to encourage viewers to do those exact same things: like, comment, share, Instagram, Facebook,
TikTok, Instagram, yeah.
Right, it goes such a long way. Oh, this is actually my favorite question. My favorite question. Okay, tell me about how your animals rescue humans.
Oh my gosh. Okay, they truly, honestly do. So whether you have a disability or some having a hard time or anything bothering you that you find hard to deal with, Let's just say
Yeah.
that my husband works with a lot of veterans with PTSD.
Okay.
I did some work with a young lady that had severe autism back in North Carolina who used to come visit the animals. Just being in their presence can be so majestical, calming, peaceful. There's this incredible understanding. I have watched folks come here that suffered in some way, shape, or form, just shed it, just being around these animals. I mean, whether they're spending time with them, they're, grooming them, or whatever the case may be, it's truly magical to watch. But we've had a lot of folks that came here with all their heavy baggage, and they walk out feeling uplifted and at peace.
Yes.
I can't really explain it.
No,
but
you did explain it. I'm also remembering that. Well, I want to come, because I get, I'm a very blessed person, and yet I also can just relate to your story, and knowing I would come away touched and healed and feeling more whole for having been there. These are also visits people need to schedule in advance.
Schedule in advance, and I can't make this clear enough. We are not a petting zoo. We are a rescue sanctuary. Yeah. So if you want to come visit, obviously we do not charge folks for that. It's all about education. Yeah. And we want your involvement. We want you to feel that, you've been able to see what's going on here. Some folks don't want to support a sanctuary unless they've had the opportunity to experience and make sure that they're legitimate. We welcome that. But again, we are not a petting zoo.
Yeah. Now we have just a couple minutes here. Let's kind of get into our wrap up mode. If I donate $100, can I get one of those t-shirts?
Absolutely. I have all different colors.
All different colors. Okay. So we'll just use your email, and we'll contact with you. And so if we're able to make a financial donation, and we can get some swag, and we'll talk about that in email or over the phone, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. That is wonderful. We have already talked about how people can donate, volunteers, the stories. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I know that we're wrapping up here, but I just want to, number one, say thank you so much for this great opportunity to, help me reach a broader audience. And also, I am so incredibly thankful for the folks that have supported me and gone on this journey with me, and the people that reach out and that do donate. It's what's keeping us going. And I can't tell you how amazing it is to serve these wonderful, wonderful beings. And it's incredible to just watch something so amazing that has been mistreated, mishandled, and is so broken just light up in their eyes. And I thank every one of our supporters for allowing me this amazing privilege to keep going.
Yes. Thank you. Well, our time is gone, Erin. Sadly, for today, we need to say goodbye. Thank you for being my guest interviewee. I know what you shared today has touched and moved many of our listeners. I look forward to our next talk, and looking forward to hearing about how this videocast has gone viral and helped Charlie's Harmony Sanctuary and Farm help more sentient beings find a forever home. So with much love, I thank you, Erin, and I thank you for the work that you're doing, and all those who watched today. I personally encourage you to get involved somehow in me donating my time here to produce this podcast. I have been uplifted, and I'm very grateful. Thank you. So I'm David with David Productions. Take care, everybody. Bye, Erin.
Thank you.